Hey there, Saki here from SAKITECH, and in today's video we are going to do a full comparison between the iPhone X versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now the Galaxy Note 9 was released in August 2018 while the iPhone X in November 2017. Currently they are the best each company has to offer. Apple and Samsung dominate the smartphone market and are the biggest rivals. As such, people quickly ask questions such as, is the iPhone X better than the Galaxy Note 9, or is the Galaxy Note 9 better than the iPhone X? And of course, the most popular request of all, just tell me which one is better. That's exactly what I'm going to tell you in this video by doing a full side-by-side comparison of every aspect of these smartphones. So let's dive in and discover the winner. The first thing I want to take a look at is the build and design. Both the iPhone X and the Note 9 have a similar build quality. Front and back, you will find glass on both smartphones with a metal band around the edges. This makes for a high-end build, therefore both smartphones feel like $1 million when you hold them in your hands. When you move on to the design is where things differ. They both have massive frontal displays and they both look gorgeous. Note 9 has a large and tall display that dominates the screen, leaving tiny bezels on the top and the bottom, while the iPhone X strives to fill the entire front with a screen, almost succeeding except for that tiny notch on the front. You will observe that the bezels on the side of the Note 9 are actually thinner and it sports the signature dual curved edge design. All in all, I must say that the design is a subjective choice, but in my opinion, Note 9 still seems to pull ahead. It seems more clean in overall presentation from the front side. This slight lead could possibly have been avoided if the iPhone X had somehow eliminated that notch on the top, which does serve a major function known as the Face ID, which we will talk about in a little bit. Now both smartphones come with water resistance, but Note 9 once again gains a slight lead with a higher IP68 rating, as opposed to the iPhone X's IP67 rating. Rest assured, both phones can easily handle a rainy day or an accidental drop into a puddle of water. Both smartphones also sport Bluetooth 5.0, which is the latest standard in Bluetooth, which is going to allow for better quality audio and also for longer Bluetooth range. That's all good stuff. Now both phones also offer high quality stereo speakers that produce a loud, deep and rich sound, perfect for watching movies and videos. Note 9 takes a lead in audio options by offering a 3.5mm headphone jack, while the iPhone X does not. So to summarize, the Note 9 certainly has a lead in this category. It does have higher water resistance rating, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a cleaner look overall, although the build quality is equally well done on both smartphones. Now let's move on to the processor, memory, and storage. The iPhone X sports a powerful hexa-core A11 processor with 3GB of RAM and can be acquired with 64GB of storage for the base model. But you also have the option to buy a 256GB storage version. The Galaxy Note 9 also sports a powerful processor, an octa-core Snapdragon 845 CPU or an Exynos 9810 variant in non-US markets with 6GB of RAM on the 128GB model, which is the base storage. Note 9 is also available in a 512GB storage option with 8GB of RAM. In the storage race, the Note 9 pulls ahead both in base storage capacity and the ability to expand your storage using a microSD expansion slot. Using a microSD card, you can add an additional 512GB of extra storage on the Note 9. Now, if you do move on to the benchmarks, it is immediately clear that the iPhone X has quite a bit of raw horsepower that kind of blows expectations. Galaxy Note 9 is not a slow phone by any means, but iPhone's A11 Bionic chip has accomplished some incredible power output, which does come in handy for heavy-duty apps and graphic-intensive games. Now, although the iPhone X has incredible processing power, the Note 9 counters that with more and better storage solutions. This category is an overall draw. Now let's move on and talk about the dimensions. So the iPhone X measures 143.6mm in height, 70.9mm wide, and 7.7 inches thick. It weighs 174 grams. The Galaxy Note 9 measures 161.9mm in height, 76.4 millimeters wide, and 8.8 millimeters thick. It weighs 201 grams. So the Note 9 is the larger and the heavier device. Now, because of its lower height, the iPhone X does have better reachability with one finger, but comes with a smaller screen. On the flip side, the Note 9 comes with a loss of reachability, but more screen real estate. Which brings me to a much more important category, the display. So let's talk about that. So the iPhone X has a 5.8-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 1125 by 2436 and 458 pixels per inches. The Note 9 has a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 2960 with 521 pixels per inches. And of course, both of these smartphones do support HDR. Now, both of these phones have fantastic displays that look stunning from every angle. They're not dull, they're very vibrant. The Note 9 is sharp and clear and is slightly more saturated. The iPhone X is sharp and clear as well, with less saturation but with better color accuracy. Overall, I cannot recommend one over the other as they both look very sharp, clean, and crispy. I will consider this category a draw. Top-notch, high-quality displays either way, and you won't see any major difference unless you are a scientist. So let's move on and talk about the software, a very important category. So let's start with the basics. The Galaxy Note 9 runs on the latest version of Android, while the iPhone X runs on the latest version of iOS. When comparing iOS and Android, it is hard not to overlook two big differences. The first one is customization. Android system is a much more open-ended environment and allows for extensive customization via widgets, themes, and home screen tweaking. You can tweak an Android smartphone to fit your personal sense of style. iOS, on the other hand, when it comes to home screens, is just a static grid of app icons with very basic customization capabilities, such as being able to change your wallpaper. On the other hand, iOS does offer more polished apps and greater gaming experience. Just about every game on the iPhone X, including graphically demanding games, will run at maximum performance with smooth and lag-free gameplay. A feat Galaxy Note 9 won't be able to match exactly. Additionally, the Apple App Store does yield a larger number of quality apps as opposed to the Google Play Store. So if you do care about apps and games and how well they perform, this is certainly something to pay very close attention to. Now, beyond those two differences, the Note 9 is certainly more productive and feature-rich in the software department. For example, it allows for split-screen multitasking, which means you can run two applications side by side at the same time. And the larger display on the Note 9 certainly enhances the whole multitasking experience. Note 9 also has the Edge functionality. You can swipe inwards from the edges of the display to bring up the Edge panels. These Edge panels can give you access to app shortcuts, weather widgets, tools such as a compass or a digital ruler, a calculator, and much more. On top of that, it is fully customizable. You can actually add or remove a bunch of panels based on your needs. As a counterattack, the iPhone X does have 3D Touch, which is a pressure-sensitive screen that allows you to access quick actions and other gestures by pressing down on the screen with a certain amount of pressure. This is not a bad feature, but it is rarely used, and Android does have a software equivalent of the 3D Touch. But the Note 9 goes further and re-counters with the S Pen, which is a fantastic tool designed to offer precision note-taking and sketching on your Note 9. Yes, you can literally draw a masterpiece right on your Note 9 if you have the skill and patience for it. Additionally, you get access to the unique S Pen software functions such as the Air Command menu that could boost productivity, and frankly, it is simply cool. To emphasize the amount of functionality the S Pen adds to your device, just watch the video in the description box below titled S Pen Tips. So it is clear from everything I mentioned that the Galaxy Note 9 is more customizable, feature-rich, and productive overall. However, where Apple wins is the app ecosystem, which is no joke. Like I said, Apple App Store will offer superb gaming experience and provide more polished and quality apps in comparison to the Google Play Store. For app-driven people, this might be important enough to stick with the Apple. Anyway, let's move on and talk about the camera. So let's take a look at the specs. Both smartphones have a dual camera system. iPhone X has a 12 megapixel primary wide-angle camera with an aperture of f1.7. The secondary camera is a 12 megapixel telephoto camera with an aperture of f2.4. The Note 9 also has a primary 12 megapixel camera that comes with a dual aperture of f1.5 and f2.4. The secondary camera is similar to the iPhone X, 12 megapixels telephoto camera with an aperture of f2.4. Now both of the primary cameras are quite capable. They take stunning daytime shots and produce a clear and sharp image. Because the Note 9 can make use of the small f1.5 aperture at nighttime, it takes slightly better nighttime photography, but the difference is not mind-bending. The secondary telephoto camera on both smartphones is designed especially for 2x optical zoom and being able to take nice portrait photos that will keep your face in sharp focus while blurring the background to create the bokeh effect. When we move on to the video recording, both the iPhone X and the Note 9 are capable of some amazing things. They can both record at 1080p and 4K, both at 30 or 60 frames per second. However, the Note 9 takes a major lead in slow motion recording. It can now record at 960 frames per second slow motion speeds as opposed to the iPhone X's 240 frames per second. This super slow motion allows you to capture some really incredible moments if you're into this kind of videography. And of course, the front cameras on both smartphones take great selfies and they're perfect for video conferencing. In this category, the Note 9 takes a slight lead due to its super slow motion recording capability. However, for an average consumer that mostly takes photos and straight videos, both phones offer a very attractive package that will not disappoint and will offer sharp and clear photos in varying lighting conditions. So let's move on to the battery. I will tell you right off the bat that the Note 9 has a longer battery life after a full charge. It has a massive 4000 mAh battery capacity as opposed to iPhone X's 2716 mAh battery capacity. iPhone X does offer a full day battery life with medium to heavy use, but if you watch too many videos or play too many games, it is not going to last all day. But the Note 9 will give you a solid full day with heavy use with no problems, movies and games included. Moving on, both the iPhone X and the Note 9 offer wireless charging using the same standard, which is fantastic. Note 9 has fast wired charging right out of the box with the included charging adapter. However, the iPhone X will require you to purchase the fast charging compatible wall adapter if you wish to utilize the fast charging option. But regardless, both phones do have the fast wired charging option. So in this category, the Note 9 leads in overall battery life, and it has the fast wired charger included with your purchase. The win does go to the Note 9 on all fronts. Now let's move on and talk about the biometrics and security options. In this category, the Note 9 leads in overall tech. It has 3 ways to unlock your smartphone: a fingerprint sensor, an iris scanner, and a basic facial recognition tool. The iPhone X has only one way to unlock your smartphone: the Face ID. Now the Face ID on the iPhone X is far superior to the facial recognition tool found on the Note 9. Even Samsung does not recommend using facial recognition tool on the Note 9 as a reliable security measure, so we could potentially discard that option on the Note 9. So what we have is an iPhone X with a state-of-the-art Face ID system versus the Note 9 with a state-of-the-art iris scanner plus the proven fingerprint sensor. Now, as I said, the Note 9 does have more options on the table, so the win does go to the Note 9 in this category. Now let's talk about some pricing and then we will tie it all in a conclusion. So the Note 9 has an official price of $1,000 for the 128GB model, and the iPhone X starts also at $1,000 for the 64GB model. Those are the prices and they're the same. And now let's move on and define the winner in this battle. Alright, so it is clear that both of these smartphones are technological marvels. As a tech package, they both offer a lot of value. The Note 9 has higher water resistance rating of IP68, still retains the headphone jack, in my opinion has a cleaner design, and gives you more biometric security option. It also has the completely unique S Pen option that is unmatched by any other smartphone, adding a new dimension of functionality to the Note 9. On the flip side, iPhone X only has one advantage that is superior to the Note 9. It has a powerful processor. They both have wireless charging, and as for the display, they both have top-notch displays. Surely the Note 9 offers a larger display, but the iPhone X offers a smaller form factor, which is easier to hold. A larger display has its own advantages, but so does a smaller form factor. In any case, looking at all the metrics and seeing how the Note 9 has more technology packed into it over the iPhone X, it is easy to conclude that the Note 9 is the ultimate king on the throne. Note 9 comes closer to a perfect smartphone as a total package. Now, it is important to state that the Note 9 is not very far ahead of the iPhone X, since the iPhone X is also ripe with the latest technologies. But the Note 9 does have extra features that's undeniable, and also it has the utility of the S Pen. So if someone comes up to me and simply asks me the question, which one is better, I am compelled to say that the Note 9 is better based on the facts. And that brings me to the end of this video, so let me know down below which phone you prefer and why, and whether or not you agree with my conclusion. Alright, so make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH and give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, follow me on all at SAKITECH Online. Guys, have a fantastic day.